Oh. Oh. No, I haven't really tested this out. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. Okay, I actually will appear. Sweet. Let me that here. What about here? Okay, wow, sweet. So cool. OBS does allow you to do certain things with this. Okay, so we got just a little bit, one more minute. Really, ooh, cover my face. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Okay. Well, oh, one concurrent viewer, but what's going on? Okay. Okay, that's weird. Oh, so it changes. Let's go ahead and update this. Okay, well, it's about 10 o'clock, and let's get the show on the road. So, hi, welcome. I'm Late Night, and you're watching the Late Night Game Dev channel. Yep. So, welcome to watching this, and yeah, I guess today has been quite the long day. But what could be better is to do some more game development, and just to kind of to give, I guess I can start off with the preview. So it's kind of the preview for today is, as probably see from the title, we're going to try to kind of figure out how does spawning enemies work. Where we want them to spawn, and perhaps where potentially they would be spawning, and just spawning them. But we also want to do things like, hey, have a win and lose screen, right? Just kind of marking, give the user some sort of indication that, hey, the win, once they defeat the enemy, they win, we win, right? Right now, currently, we have just a little implicit, we shoot the enemy. Here, probably better to show you. We currently have, shooting the enemy, right? We go ahead, hit play. And we have an enemy that moves up and down. We shoot, and the enemy's gone, right? And it's gone, so there's a little bit of but it's not clear that we have like a win condition, right? And so we're going to kind of set that, kind of do some little bit of placeholder. And we're also going to have some lose as well. It's not going to be interesting if all we see is just the player shooting stuff, right? The player needs to lose as well to get and have a game over, and so on and so forth, right? So that's kind of, I think, where we're going to be doing and focusing in on for today. If there's more things, we get it done early, then we'll add on more stuff, and I'll go ahead and finesse the refactor the title. So yep, that's that. All right, so and just to kind of give everybody a heads up, I am going to try to stream Monday to Friday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. I kind of to kind of give folks to recap. I kind of am doing like things like this way is because I kind of realized that if I want to continue on development, I mean I could do it off stream, more development for the game, but I kind of really do enjoy sharing you guys what my journey is currently being like, and there's just a lot. I think there's just a lot more things to show. Really about like what is like the journey of doing game development in a bit of a way. This is like a journal, right? A live vlog, video log journal. And so that being said, let's get on right to it. Okay, so let's take a look here. Okay, so last time we did some bit of refactoring. Hey, now projectiles on the own section, players its own section, enemies its own section, or scene, so to speak, not sections. And what we're going to be doing, and we instantiate these two elements in here, right? So we got this one enemy, right? One enemy, and I think we're going ahead and keep this because we want to have essentially a moving target. I guess you can say that in many games, right? They a lot of times. I think there's games now. It's like if it's complex, they'll give you like a tutorial how to play this game, but I think, and feel free to disagree with me, because I think this is a striking balance between having a really good game that doesn't tell you figure it out on your own, but in such a intuitive manner. And what I mean is that it's kind of tie in with the games. I've played some other indie games, puzzles, right? Puzzles starts off easy. They essentially teach you how the mechanic works. Go from point A to point B. Okay, if you do that for the first level, you pass. Okay, the second level, extra challenge. Third level, a little bit more. Until you get to like the mid game is where things are gotten more complex, more challenging, more like an obstacle course, right? Players, I mean, there are some games that will just built in the assumption of, well, my audience are actually gamers, so there's expectation that they know public platformers, they'll figure this stuff out, and so they make it extremely hard from the get-go. And you just have to kind of suffer and figure it out. I guess hardcore games. But I think for me, this game is going to be more towards slow introduction, not necessarily you go figure it out. So how does this relate to enemies, right? So we have the enemies that are moving, enemies from just spawning right into this main scene and just moving up and down. We want to introduce that, right? So let me think about this. And excuse me, I had some Chipotle a little bit earlier. And it was good, but it's kind of giving me some little bit of gas, so apologies. So what I want to figure out is this, right? We have this off-screen space here, right? An off-screen space here, and I feel like a lot of times they introduce the enemies going from right to left, but it goes from this side, this direction, right? I kind of wonder if I can somehow be able to lay some sort of boundary and have some sort of access to this, to and be able to kind of have them to pop up or something, right? Try to figure out how to leverage that space. All right, so I'm gonna look up Godot, and I think what be a good one. Okay, yeah, Godot, set sail, org, log, asset downloads, go to the documentation, and I think their first 2D game had a really good mechanism or implementation of how to create the enemies. Okay, yeah, you get the sprites. Now we don't care much about sprites at this point. Sprites, enemy mob, ADI. Okay. Enemy scripts. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out is how do you, shall we go ahead and spawn, or what, right? So, oh, okay. Spawn mobs. The main mode is spawn new mobs that wanted to appear at random edges of the screen. Add a path to G named mob path as child. Okay. Okay. So we guess we can do path 2D. Let me take a look. Read this out. Path 2D contains a curved path for path follow. Can't follow. This path is considered to move. Okay. Okay, so. Okay. Let me maybe pull off to the side. This off to the side. And let's go back to the game. Alright. Okay. So. Want them to appear at random locations. Yeah. Random locations along the edge of the screen. Okay. Okay. Now, I think we're... So there's kind of a bit of a dilemma, a situation right now, right? So in this example, right, they're covering all four sides, and it's kind of like you see it like in Vampire Survivor, right? Vampire Survivors, they just pop up, around the player, around the screen, right? Now, 2D side scroller shooters, right? What are they? Well, what is the game? What's the basic component, right? It's really you're going from side to side and shooting stuff forward, right? So, I guess a question, would be, do we want to utilize? So, there's a couple of things, right? We can utilize just this space, this, and this, right? Your traditional, going, or, like your traditional, like here, or here, or here, right? Or do we want to utilize something, more? You want to be more inclusive, even using this back part where, hey, the player cannot fire, or cannot really, once the enemy's passed, right? Enemy's gone, they can't do anything about it, right? They can't shoot backwards. Or they could eventually. And I know we could probably use like the space in here to kind of do a popping out, right? And so, and this kind of goes into, okay, how difficult do we want this game to be? How many enemies? What kind of enemies? So a lot of questions. And I gotta think about this for a little bit. At my heart right now is leaning towards accessing all four corners of the screen, right? Enemies kind of kind of peeking in, try to shoot from the back of it. You know, he'll try to have to dodge them, right? You know, I can't hurt the enemies, so I will dodge their attacks. You know, we can access through this spot here. You know, let them come, and you know they're gonna miss, which is fine. The spot here too. Yeah, you know, I really would say is like really utilize the whole entire space, all four corners. But what I'm going to do is, I think I am going to limit them based on what type of enemies they are. What enemy they are, right? As I said earlier, we wanted to make sure that, you know, to give at least, and then also for us, right, as we're trying to figure out how, you know, the mechanics and just trying to design the enemies, we want to keep in mind is that there needs to be some sort of level of increasing difficulty. So I'll go ahead and, you know, do what it asks of creating a path 2D. Okay, let's add. Add a path. Okay, so instruction says, and I just pull it off screen here. Add a path 2D node. Okay. Path 2D node to the main scene. Okay. We sure did. And you know what? I'm just gonna say spawn path. Spawn path. Okay, off the main. We select spawn path. You see new buttons on the editors. Okay. What's this? Select point. One. Oh, okay. Add point. Okay, so we added it. Okay, I'm using smart grip. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So we're going to add path here to there. Oh gosh, I can't see. Oh. Okay. Whoa. Okay. So it looks like we gotten it all surrounding this box. Good. That's good. All right. Okay. So path. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, okay. So this one will close the curve. So if you make a box around it, around on just nearly, you know, the box, you can close it. So your first point to the last point, it'll just close that for you. So that is good. Good. Okay. Okay, so now let's see the next directions is, okay, so we placed these four and connected it, closing the path. So now we're going to add a falling path 2D. Okay. Add a path to the child of mount path, spawn path in our case. Okay, you know, I'm just gonna do this. Okay, so what else is asking? Spawn location. This will automatically rotate along the path moving, so we can use it to select along the direction of the path. This will automatically Okay. So yeah, I was just kind of skipping a little bit in here, just you know, because this is a different tutorial. This one. Choose a random location. I'm curious of what does this do? Okay. Okay, spawn location. Okay. So let's say like this. If I do, oh. Oh, okay. So, like, how about this way then? So, if we have the progression of here, and say, hey, we go 1,000. So we're basing this off of the screen, right? So display windows 1152. So 1152. Let's take a look. Oh, okay. So it's gonna go. Ah, okay. I think what we can do, maybe put the spawn pointers. So the spawn path, though it's very good, it's great, but I do think we probably want them to spawn a little bit more outside of the box, if you understand what I mean. Right. So in a way, as part of like UX, you don't want to just immediately spawn, right? Like, you know, shock the player of something that that they didn't expect, right? I mean, that's kind of one of the basic tricks with jump scares for horror games. Just the scary thing. I mean, it was not really a scary thing, but it's just a very surprise of something, scary. Usually comes in, pops in, and you're like, "Oh my god, what the hell?" WTF, right? But with this kind of genre, we aren't. Okay. Oh, that's not good. Okay. So what we're trying to do is we're going to kind of spawn them off stage, so to speak. When I say off stage, it means like, hey, outside, right? We're going to utilize the space outside of the game to kind of lead them in. As a player, you're not going to see this, but what you're going to see is that they're going to be coming from somewhere, some off screen, right? Oh, Oops. Oh, and I still got this, so let's select that. You know what? I really will love it. So, and so we spawn this off screen, right? So we go back here, the path. So now we need to know. Oh, so it's now the pixels actually 1216, 126 plus. Yeah, for right now, try to get them all lined up. Doesn't, it doesn't matter at this point. But my organizationness forces me to, kind of makes me want to do it. So, oh yeah, smart snap, turn it on. Okay. So follow the path, right? So we got, what was this? 1216. Right, 1216. And 704. So 1216. So, right. Notepad. 1216 plus 704. 704 is what? Yeah. It is 1920. Oh. Oh yeah, 192. Yeah. Yeah, well, so 1920. Oh wow, okay. So we're almost at 1080, 1920. So, and if I do it, oh, that's 1920. Oh. Oh, okay. So we were not right. Actually, we're missing a small chunk. I think it's about 64. Okay. So 64, 68. So 1920 plus 68. What's that? Okay. 68, and I think would be 1984. Yeah, 1984. Right? Because one of those big boxes is a 64 by 64. So if I 1980, right? Yeah. Okay. But hold on. But here's the thing. Do we want it to really to spawn from the outer edge? Want this to spawn on the outer edge? No, that doesn't make any sense, right? So, I'm gonna have to make it spawn. I want to make it spawn in between this. So, I am definitely thinking about, maybe going to minus 64, 1920. Maybe even going further down. Actually, probably with this kind of basic enemy, right? So what we're going to try to do for this enemy, spawn it from off screen. So in your case, off screen right here, right? And then have it move towards It'll just move down in a single line. Yeah, but it's gonna spawn at different points. All right. And I think that's maybe, yeah. So that's probably what we're going to do. Okay. So let's see. 1856 seems to be a good out of bound. So let me write this down. 1856 pixel. Okay, 1856. And let's say we go. Let's go down even further. Oh, no, okay. So probably go down even further. Okay, too far. Okay. Let's go get down. Not 1410. Right. So for this particular enemy, we wanted to limit it to 1410 pixels. Right. So we just want it to be limited here to here. Right. Let it spawn and let it proceed from forward. Right. When what we're gonna do is, yeah, I think. Well, the problem that I had is that I originally coded this enemy to move up and down, right? But not full left and right. But I think we could do left and right by switching the code from using the x-axis to the y-axis, right? X-axis this, y-axis to this. So, sorry, switching from the y-axis to the x-axis. So, script-wise, yeah. So instead, it would just be them going down. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this. Now let's see. Okay, so they got the spawn mob location, here. Okay, so they're using a timeout. So they have a timer for it. And here's the thing with this one. The limitation of this project is that it's just a really simple, just a sample project, only with one single enemy. So they're able to kind of do certain things that, that you wouldn't necessarily do on a particular scene. So the question. So we need to spawn these things somehow, some way, right? I mean, I can put a mob. We could put a mob timer. It's gonna spawn whatever is in here. You know what? Prototype, right? So let's just go ahead and do the do and let's try to get this thing going. Okay. All right. So now this is ready, but Yeah, let's go ahead and add a called timer. Spawn timer. And let's go ahead, right? Have a timer connected to main. And what we're going to do is we're going to do auto start. Not call it a one shot. And it says wait 1 second, right? Okay, well, we'll just leave that for there. The important thing right now is to connect it to here and let it do something, right? So, and to demonstrate, what I'm trying to say is, right? So in games, right, you always hear the term spawn camping, spawn this, right, blah blah blah, right? Yeah. So these are areas that are marked out in games where players can restart from. You know, whether you play Call of Duty, Call of Duty, or platformer. You know, RPGs, spawn points, right? Spawn points, reset points, checkpoints, really. You know, stuff like that. So I can say here, hey, spawning here. Okay. We place that, blah, blah, the function body. And so we're doing 1 second, and so we're not quite too sure how necessarily this works. Let me just go ahead and play this. Spawn here, 1 second. Oh, so it keeps on going. 1 second. Okay. So now we have that. What I'm going to need is, okay, export or you know, I'm gonna call this grunt, right? Grunts are usually like the foot soldiers, you know, enemy, you know, easy to defeat, you know, low level type of enemy. So we should be fine. Okay, this one I'm gonna say here. Oh, packed C. Okay. So we got that. We're gonna load an enemy. Right? Loading a grunt. Okay. So and what we're gonna do here, hey, since we said, hey, we're gonna be spawning here, right? We're spawning according to the tutorial. Timer, main menu game. Don't really care. Now this is what we care about. Right? Okay. So we gotta instantiate the mob. Right? Done instantiate. So okay, you know what? Let's go with this notation. Grunt. It's equal to this. What else? Okay, grunt. So we instantiated this. So also then, hey, we also got to choose the location, right? So we got to get the spawn location here, and that's gonna be easy to be done. Spawn mob location on the path 2D. I believe we will could just do something like this. So, yep, yeah, mob path spawn location. Path 2D. You know what? Let me just change this to make it more appropriate. Okay, locations. Spawn path location. Okay. Bars spawn. Okay. Oh. Okay. Choose a random location for the progression ratio. Okay, so we gotta set the direction. Right, so it's the direction. Okay, so use the progression ratio. But okay, so what we're gonna do is, I think we're gonna go ahead. Yeah, do this. Hey, let's take a look at this guy. Randoms between value of 0 to 1. So this progression ratio is important. Right? It's important. So inclusive. So random instead of a hey, just random F, random float. You probably want to do a random F float range. Random radii. You know what? This is exactly what the doctor ordered. So, oops. I'm going to go here. Go back to the script. And say, hey, random range from 0.3553. Right, 0.3553. And what was it? What was this? Progression 1858. Yeah, 48. This. Right? Give me a random range. Pick a spawn location. And probably want the direction, right? So what this is here, it's true. Like we want to make sure the direction is facing to. Oh my gosh, no, this way. From facing your left. Yeah, facing left. Yeah. Left. Okay. Yeah. So, this direction. Yeah. Anyhow, right? So we will definitely need to set the direction, and I think we could probably put all this code in some nice, really some of the nice in the nicer form. And when I say in a nicer form, so get to look at this transform rotation, right? So let's see. 0. I think for right now, because it's cubes, we don't necessarily care what the face is, but we will want to have to get back to it. So right now, mob spawn location. Right, select the tutorial, mob spawn location. Okay. Spawn point, location, direction. Sure. It will matter. Here. So this one will matter. Right. Will matter once we get our sprites in. Eventually, it's going to even matter more when we actually have enemies that are going to start shooting. Like, pew pew pewing. So it's going to take your pew 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 skills. What else? Right. Let's take a look. So, entrance and direction, mob direction. Okay, set the mob to random. Okay, you know what? Let me just go add the rest of this in here. Seems to be rested pretty useful. But it says mob. No, we don't want to carry that. Spawn point. Let's add some direction. Randomness of direction. Okay. So I'm not sure why do we need to set the direction of this spawn pointer. Oh, okay. Oh, the spawning point, so the direction. But okay, you know what? I'm comment this out. I don't necessarily think we need it. Okay, you know what? Let's just keep it in. Because what's going to happen is that this, honestly, this can be handy. Not now. Right? Ground's rotation is going to be default to 0. So we will, say, hey, we will get our, not sprints in, sprites in. Same thing for this guy. Okay. It doesn't really matter how. It doesn't matter at the stage, right? We just wanted to get it to spawn and move down, right? And so it's going to give its velocity, how fast it'll move. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, now I think so this last part, line 31, 32, and 35, I am not quite too sure how this looks like. It's a well, I actually constructed the original sample project before. Yeah, it just spawns all outside of the screen, or of the screen. So, yeah. Let's take a look. Went ahead and closed the sprite. So now, you just see only the player, and it should spawn in here. I'm expecting something to break. Oh, oh, oh. Comment on instantiate. Oh, okay. Oh, let's take a scene. Okay. Oh, linear velocity. Invalid assignment of linear velocity value vector 2D based on an object type and node. Oh, okay. Hmm. Okay. So we kind of had an issue. We kind of run into an issue already, right? So in their what you call it, their example project, I believe this linear velocity. This linear velocity seems to be right talking about animation invisibility screen. Okay, it's a mob. Animated sprite. Oh, they use a rigid body 2D. However, though, I don't think in our game our enemies are specifically rigid body 2Ds. Rather, I think we're more like area at this point. So, right? What? So, the question now is, what to do? What to do? In our script, I said, hey, move up and down. Right? So if we move up and down, that doesn't make much sense. Okay. So now I gotta think about this. In our main scene, right? We're having it move according to velocity. So something's gotta give, right? We either gotta change this to make this into a rigid body 2D. And let's say like this way. Even if we did make this to a rigid body, so like this, child, rigid body, linear velocity. Right? You have nodes is body enter, body exits. So if we want to control that movement, I mean, I guess we can move. Probably do we need it? But I think probably need to sack this though, right? So let's go ahead and look at let's go ahead and look at this tutorial some more. Enemy script. Okay, the main menu. So we spawn the enemies. Right. But let's say you create the player. So let's take a look. BGM. Yeah, start button. Okay, so yeah, the game is dodge the creeps. So if you do have a contact with the creep, yeah, it's a little bit annoying that okay, yeah, WASD. Yeah, so preparing for collision with the player. Right. Yeah, so they want to use they wanted to use what you call it? Okay, so it's gonna be rigid body. Okay. So the last time I tried this out, it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So that kind of gotten me to be confused, but I guess not. Okay. So body enter. And then what's what we're gonna do? We're gonna say stop this. Right. The show. Oh. I think, and then we're gonna have to. Well, for right now, I'm comment section whole code out. Because I think when we implemented this last time yesterday, it seems as if we implemented it incorrectly. Like because I was testing the body of this enemy sprite that I had with this, it just doesn't do. So it doesn't seem to wanting to behave this way. So you know. Yeah, you see, it just goes through. Doesn't tell me jack squat. I mean, unless what the projectile. I mean, child node. What rigid body 2D. Right. Go ahead and delete that. Print projectile. Exactly. Yeah, there's no. Okay. You know what? Okay. On body entered. Hmm. So, you know what? I want to take a look. I would love to see how they're doing this. Okay, so you're coding up the player, right? So again, you're right. We're trying to get this whole interaction thing to work. So let's use area 2D. So we create the enemy, right? I guess it's what's a little bit difficult about this is that we try to place them all together. Wait. Are you not liking the fact that I'm putting nodes? Wait. Okay. Okay, wait, hold on. So what does this doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's just see. Okay, rigid body. 2. Okay, we yeah. 0 mass. Actually, you know what? 1 kilogram, but gravity scale 0. Well, I'm curious. Okay. Yeah, I am not sold on this. I need area 2D because I think we're going to try to do a couple different things with this. Yeah. Okay. So what we did here is we actually just went ahead and we did a bit of a testing, just kind of making sure. Right. Really to make sure that, hey, you know, is there a way that we can actually use this the rigid aspect of it? And of course, I mean, when you are trying to do this kind of stuff, it's really annoying. It can be very, very annoying. So projectiles, right? Player, enemy, main, and spawner. So grunts, right? I understand. Let's do this. What do they have? Add siblings, translation. Oh, auto translate, child create, duplicate flag. Okay, So let's take a look at what I did. What did I do for projectiles, right? Get the size of it. And the main one. Oh, no, we player. Actually, good direction. Shoot. Bullet.transform. Projectile, right? That's projectile. Now we're gonna go to main. So I believe is trans. Yeah, trans. Okay. I think what's going to be a little more difficult is we are going to we have to get this process, and instead of going up and down, I think okay, we can you know what, and we can actually go ahead and save this piece, right? We will just need to remember to move this elsewhere, because right, this would be a good thing to have for moving enemies, you know, up and down, right? Up and down, left and right, right? But I think with this enemy is we just wanted to spawn and go to the left, right? So we're gonna have to write a new function called go left only. Oh, oops. Go underscore go left only. And I think what we're gonna do here, so if we go left only, it's gonna be negative, so x minus speed. Yeah, actually probably should have started off with this. It's like, oh, just move left, you know, and then oh, and I don't think we really need this, hey, transforms and whatnot. This stuff probably don't need it. Yeah. Holy snap. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, 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 spawn. Wow, this is actually pretty cool. Doom, 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 doom. Wow. And there you go. So we got is just now at those particular spots, you know, them coming down and moving pretty damn fast. So we're gonna, you know, decrease their speed, right? Decrease their speed, and yeah, go ahead and decrease their speed. Okay. So for me, I'm not necessarily a fan of, I'm not necessarily a fan of like releasing timers. So, but then again, that means like I need to spawn craft like specific enemies for specific levels. I need to exert a lot more control to essentially do a more specific level design, right? Which, could, in theory, which could in theory be, you know, you which makes sense. Makes sense, right? Don't get me wrong. It does make quite a bit of sense. But I don't know. I'm just not quite too sure because it's like this. You allow this. Well, yeah. Yeah. It's like this. Like so you have the spawning path, right? Which you set up here in your main, but then you're kind of controlling the spawn timer, right? Spawn timer for this. So the only thing that I kind of am wondering is, and maybe this is probably, it makes me a little bit hesitant because it's whether or not how much control I want to have this. Do I want to just let it generate by itself, or do I want this to be something that's kind of like more scripted per se, like, oh, this needs to come in, then this needs to come in, then this needs to come in, right? And in a bit of a way, I'm kind of leaning towards to letting this thing run, but I wanted to strike a really nice balance of saying like, hey, I am going to launch these enemies in, I'm really going to launch these enemies in, whenever. Sure, I guess I'm a spawn timer. But and again, right? So it's almost a little bit of analysis by paralysis, and I'm going to need to kind of figure out, I kind of need to figure out, what I want to do with this, right? Because we have this right here, Now enemies are falling. All right. Right. So the question begs is, how am I going to get some control, right? Who's going to be in control for this? And I think probably that's why we kind of need a kind of a levels manager, I feel, right? So You know, we kind of have we worked a little bit on the what you call it, the really like the spawning aspect, limited to, you know, we actually are getting to spawn and having it come forward. um, I feel like it, perhaps this spawn. Hmm. I guessing it's like kind of like what is the level, right? How do you want to design the level? And so I think I'm going to probably, so imagine the spaceship coming out, right? We got a little animation coming out. Animation finishes, right? We give it like 3 seconds to move around left and right. Then we start spawning one enemy in, right? Because like I know, remember in a game called Solar Striker, right? It was our first Game Boy Color Solar game, right? And that game was literally completely scripted. Like, and you know when enemies gonna come, where they're gonna come from, right? So everything has like an ordering of things, right? What I'm wanting to figure out is, can we get an ordering, but have, you know, but have it be more procedurally generated, meaning that, hey, based on according to the certain script, go ahead and execute these things, based on the certain type of enemy. And so in this case, I'm gonna call the grunts, right? The enemy, the enemy sprite that we have, they're essentially our grunts. They're just gonna go move forward, right? They're just gonna move, forward this way or this way, right? Keep moving forward, all in one direction, and their spawning places is dependent, right? So let's continue to play around with this. Five. Okay, very too slow. And I'm thinking the players aren't. Okay. Okay. Actually, I'm thinking about perhaps just go ahead and removing this. Oh, oops. Or I could build a system like this way. So in our script, right? Based on how much enemies have spawned, yeah, I can go ahead. Okay, let's do this. Alright, you know what I'm gonna call? One Direction? No. What is I'm gonna call this? I think I'm gonna call this not enemy. Probably, you know, grunt. Right. One directional grunt. Scene. Rename. Grunt. Okay. So, good grunt scene. Okay. Grunt scene. Moves in a direction. In here. That's only one timer. I feel like this is probably, if I want to do the more, I want to do it more smarter, right? I want to figure out if how can I do a timer. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Right. On ready for grunt spawn timer is equal to this. So, oh, that way. So then this guy doesn't need to constantly play all the time. So we're going to say three seconds. And we go ahead and let's say we play this. 2, 3. Ooh, so it's 3. Oh, okay, good. And I think what we can do is internally we can kind of keep track of how many enemies been spawned right for now. And I feel like, you know what, I'm gonna get this group. Go 0. Right. And probably we can go order of sequences. Yeah. How many times the enemy has spawned? Go order of sequence. Right. Okay. Right. And probably we can get says, hey, you're spawning, right? You're spawning here. think at this point we're pretty good on this. Go left only. Let's say if we'll go ahead and stop. Grunt spawner dot stop. So after 3 seconds, it's gonna pop 1, 1, 2, 3, and another one. And it stopped. Right? And it stopped. Okay. Alright. So okay, so we now got the thing to stop spawning, which is good. I think we're gonna probably need, yeah, maybe the next video, a level manager. But let's kind of finish up some of the kind of things I was saying. You know, some sort of like, you know, I guess you can say it's like not necessarily like a win state, but I mean, hit to 5, right? And well, it spawned at 5, and that's the end of it. And I'm thinking about it. We probably don't necessarily want to have a lose thing. Well, we can, right? If the player loses, you know, gets hit, then they lose, right? So in that case, I think it would probably be most appropriate to have, you know, an area 2D, right? I mean, look at the tutorial, what they're doing. Player. Code and player, blah blah. Here it's sort of touch it. 2D. Oh. Okay. That's just a little bit odd. It's a little bit odd that. Hold on, it says to do so it has some functionality built in node. We will add a script. Right? So you're adding a script that's an area 2D, or where you are actually getting hit. I mean, within the player, right? Okay. So I mean, if area entered, So on here 2D. Let's do player area. That's a player area, comma, area dot name. Right. And a grunt is what? Grunt is part of enemies. So it's part of enemies. So okay, let's see here. Oh. Is in group. Right. So what we're doing here is that we're saying like, hey, if is the enemy is the collision that just happened, is that within no, to the player the an enemy, and if they are, I guess we could say print, and this is not real, player loses. Right, so we hit quote. Okay. Area dot get groups. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what nothing. Okay. This is getting weird. So I shoot it. Oh. Huh. Okay. So, what signals do you have? Mouse input, draw, hidden canvas, child enter, exit tree. Tree dot exiting. Okay. You know what? Let me just look at this. Collision. You know what? Here, let me go and take a look. So what's this? What's this one? Inspector, character body 2D. Okay, character body 2D. Yeah, versus air body 2D. Godot. Yep. You know, a new game developer. About do you need physics interaction collision? Okay. So I guess we kind of do need a little bit of physics. Or don't we? Or don't we? So I'm guessing. I guess we can add. I have a bad feeling like this is gonna be real bad, but you know what? Let's just try to get this. Try to get it done. Okay. Sprite area 2D. And you have a player. Okay, you know what? I'm kind of curious. Why don't we shape this smaller? What I wanted to see is that, hey, this area 2D and collision shape 2D, whether or not if they doesn't make any sense. Okay. Wait. Scene group. Wait, so hold on. Wait, hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they actually split this out even further more. So if I do. Oh, okay. Alright. So, they actually don't need, just I think it's the area 2D that needs to kind of be recognized at which one's which. So it's enemies, right? I guess this could be set back to 50. Let's just double check. Okay, so got a little makeshift of yeah, we lose whatnot, right? Make sure we lose. I think was a good thing called set collision something right here, right, with the player. Prepare for collision, signal hit, right, collision 2D. Oh, it's children, right? The collision 2D to hey, right. So I think by doing this is that we won't have any more collisions. So, right. So we got our first one, right, on the bottom. Oh, we still got another one. Oh. Okay. So I'm guessing. Oh. He ain't know what this is. So got hit. First one. Yep. Nope. The second one. Yep. No more collision for now. Okay. Awesome. So there's that little note here saying that collision to pulse game and to end the game, right? And I'm going right here. Hey says like, hey, we got some stuff to do. We got to do. Yeah. Setting this to go ahead and be more of a to do thing. Right? We're going to have to really try kind of piecing all this together. And I think one thing that we're just kind of a bit missing at this point is really some kind of nice here. Let me make myself smaller. Something kind of nice to, I don't know, I say, yeah, sure, there's the UI component of it. Right. I think you kind of will need, I guess, yeah, the UI component for this. Right, you get hit with enemy. You also need the HUD too as well. So I think there's quite a bit of work that we will need to do on those fronts. And I know earlier we said that, hey, we got something, kind of do the win screen, losing screen, right? Well, it turns out that, hey, we need to kind of do other things first, like create the UI. How will the, at least the bare minimum user interface for the game. All right, so here, we'll go ahead. So we got inputs. We get our stuff in here. Now the question I think we do have is, I think one thing we can probably work on is spawning the player, right? The way I envision this is that it's gonna go from this will come off the screen and up to here, or have it already spawn there. Okay, have it spawn there and just kind of build a kind of a launching. I think what's really cool is that Gundam. I'm a big Gundam fan. Not unfortunately not like unicorn, but wings, and I just love it when they do like the catapult system launching, right? So they always would shoot the Gundam out into space. I think there's that kind of it's with a lot of space games, there is like a little catapult launching animation that shoots it all out. And so, I guess what we can do is something perhaps, just a little touch up, I'm supposing. So when it's ready in 2D space, okay, right, in this main, we don't need the player. Rather, we add the marker. 2D marker. And I kind of like it. Probably somewhere here in the middle. And we call it player spawn. Player spawning point 2D, right? And so when we go ahead and start a quote new game, okay, so when we go here, we're essentially going to do the same thing, but instead we're going to import the players, right? We're going to import the player, and bim, bada boom, bada boom. Input the player. Then we're gonna do we're gonna instantiate this. Instead of that, say hey the player, and honestly, this spawning point can be probably do something like this. On ready bars on enemy, grunt. Here, yeah, and point. And then we can so rather than just declaring it inside here, I can just go ahead and just declare it, right? And then this grunt timer, right now I can just go ahead and do this. Probably says this, that, Um, I did that, so that should be fine. I think I'm gonna use this player spawn, right? Player spawn. Okay. Player's a spawning point. And I think we can do it. Hey, we can instantiate it, but player dot transfer. You know what? Okay, player dot position is equal to position here. So now we moved. Oh shoot. Okay. That. And I thought that I could just do something like this. I guess not. You know what? Maybe I could just do something like, oh, duh, I'm silly me. Yeah, and underscore child. Right, I gotta go ahead and add the kiddo. Duh. Yep, so now I can go and play this game. Right? Now, I don't know, it's probably not as fun. Right? But it kind of gets the job done. Right? Now, I think what we definitely forgot is during our contact, right, we would need to say, hey, disable. The player itself needs to go and be queue free. So during our contact, you know, we want to get it touched, and it went kaput, and you're done, right? Right. So we kind of do have a little bit of, you know, some functionality, interaction, some consequences. Very rudimentary, I have to say. Nothing too. It's not, you know, up to standard. You know, not up to par, but you know we're getting somewhere. All right. Our main scene now is really just, you know, no players but markers. Um, you know where things are to spawn. Right now I set it to spawning just between these 2 points. And what else? Right. I mean, right. Anything else just from like a gameplay perspective? Oh, right. I guess we can add another enemy. Have it spawn. Spawn a combination between, what you call it? Because like what I want to do is like a technically right, it's a essentially one level, one single level. You know, as the quote unquote demo, the demo of this right is one single level, but make it as like it's like the introduction to perhaps the future of the game. Right. So what I'm going to try to do you know what? Let me think about this and let me do something. You know what? Let me do something a little bit off tangent. I'm kind of curious. Sorry, the stream is a little bit yes. Yes. Okay. Ooh, that's not good. You know what? Let's here. Probably right now there's nothing at this point. But we'll see. All right. We'll see. I think for me it's kind of a bit hard where I kind of have to kind of keep a lot of things in mind. So I always try to want to put my best foot forward. And that could be really much of a hindrance to just pure coding development. But I think you kind of need to have. I think in order for you to grow, you kind of need to be conscientious until it's as practice, right? You need practice, you go along. But I think there's just too many times where, um, you know, people don't necessarily like in a middle way. Kind of go down the rabbit hole, or they kind of turn their brain off. They don't kind of think about certain things. Um, being tactical, right? Though they may have done things for years, whatnot. But I always find it like when I go onto different projects, just chatting, just talking, just to get to understand what the dynamic is and what the situation is, what the challenges, right? And making observation and notes and just asking about them. It just seems to not, they didn't think about it, and that itself can really, yeah, it's like a thought leadership, right? Oh, I just never I thought about this. Well, I mean, if you think about it a little bit, then you probably can achieve X, Y, and Z, right? You can then be able to do things for you. So I guess my tendency right now is to kind of like, hey, what's going on? Okay, how does this fit in with the grand scheme of things? And I guess in a way that's probably what, correct me if I'm wrong, a game designer kind of does, kind of keeps an eye out, or a generalist, like, hey, I'm seeing multiple different things. I'm maybe not an expert, but we need to know is this stuff, this thing ties with this, and ties with this, and how do things will tie together. Um, so yeah, man, I guess I could do this. Startless at least. You know. You know what? Let me just go to rename this. This is gameplay. Right. And so, reason why we name this as gameplay now instead of main scene is for a couple of reasons. Right. I'm gonna put it in there. And I'm going to create a new scene called main. Oh, main menu. I think it probably is good to go ahead and say, hey, we'll go ahead and create a gameplay folder. I want to create a folder for user interface. Okay, just gotta make sure. Okay, so we got scripts, a couple scripts here. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna keep this out here for now. I mean, we're gonna move it in a little bit, but this is oops, sorry. This is the main menu, and instead of this, we're gonna change the type. Control. Okay. Now, we change the type to control. We got we're just gonna disable the grid. And we're going to create the anchors here. Now I got to figure out is how we want the UIs to look like. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I think we're going to need something called a margins container. margin containers, they're great, right? Layout. Let's see, margin container. They're great because what view? Oh, come on. Not top left. Okay. So that is a full rect. Here. What does I want to do? I'm going to add. So I think eventually I probably will going to have to settle for some weird texture. And you know what I'm going to do? I am going to actually bring over. Let me go and find it. Okay. Okay, where is it? Okay, so okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna probably need to take this folder. Yes. So what we're trying to do is I'm trying to really see some placeholder things from my last work per se. And if you guys, are really curious, yeah. So right now there's a game called I Just Work Here. It's on itch.io, and I actually built out this time their UI. Sure, they made some modifications, but I built it out and connected with the game. It was just something that, I'll be honest, it was fun. It was fun. Something that I learned pretty well, and I took ownership of it. There's also a quote a dialogue system as well that we just didn't get to, but it is what it is. All right. So I'm gonna do here is, hey, let's go ahead and put this text. Bam. Oh, much. Huh. Okay. I think we're gonna add his. Oh, okay. We're going to set the beginning, keep size, but margins though. Godly. Probably let's do 50, 50, 50, shifty, 50, 50. Honestly, I wish I could like set. This is kind of a bit embarrassing, but I kind of wanted to like. No. Oh. Okay, this is weird. Okay. Okay. I mean, that's fine. Now we just have a couple of buttons. Start game button. Really start game button right here and let's see, add child. So it looks a little bit weird that it's being chunkied out, and I think in a way to kind of get certain things. Oops, this is terrible. Right. So why I did this, right? So we definitely want margin. So imagine it's like an HTML web page, and you wanted to give it a certain, give some space, right? Give something to breathe. And this is kind of part of like a UX design. It's always good, to not be too crowded. And in this case, right, you see here, I just work here and game start. They're not, it doesn't make any sense, right? Why are they next to each other? It should be kind of like a top down, left to right. So what I have to do is I have to kind of finagle around, and order does matter a bit. I could probably, jeez, my spelling is terrible. Yeah, but I don't want this to kind of be like it completely extended. So what I gotta do? I guess in a way, I kind of feel like I probably need a V-Box. Probably put this in here, right? Layout. Okay, beginning, center. Nope. Beginning. Oh, okay. So, nope. It doesn't care. Okay, and that doesn't do it. So maybe H box here instead. Set it to here. Set the V box inside. Aha. Okay. So what I kind of solve here is really just an organization type dealio. So now we don't need this. Start game status still seems to be kind of weird. Move it around, yeah. Still looks weird. But you know, I think we can tinker around with this a little bit some more. Theme override, you know, probably give 20. Start game. A weird old working title. Let's see. Probably we don't want to do Control C. So the reason I'm not a fan right now is that if it's not coding to do Control C, Control V, is because Godot has a weird way of kind of like just binding. Like we change one thing, it thinks, oh, you're changing it for this other thing too as well, because you did a copy of it. You do a duplicate of it, somewhat of the same deal. So instead, I'm gonna go here and say, hey, button, and can't forget options. Okay, let's see, visibility, theme. Yeah, maybe we'll figure this out. Yeah, we'll figure this out. And I think probably maybe one more credits. Okay. So options, right? I mean, it's good to have options button because you wanted the options button to be there so that players can do some kind of configuration to kind of see things better, or control the sounds, that type of thing. And obviously, credits button is good, especially if you work on multiple of these things. Yeah, your artist is working with the art, right? You work on a project, you work on a group. You want to credit folks, who kind of helped you out with this whole process, right? So, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna probably say shrink beginning. Probably these two as well. And I think, yeah, I think they got pretty much the setup of this here. So, and if we wanted to start the game, right? If you want to start the game, right, we can simply press the start button, start a game button, right, and then you got the options button. I wonder if you know what? Let's take a look. Ooh, okay. Yeah, we probably don't want to go ahead and have a panel here. I was just wondering that if we would kind of need a panel to kind of make it look a little more, per se, organized. I mean, if I could put this in the center, that's not a problem. It's just like, here. And we can still have the ship being over here. Right. So right now, we just have a placeholder title that I'm just reusing. A start option, gameplay option, right? So, because we have this now, okay. So now we have this, right? We can technically work on like win screens and then lose screens. It's just the problem. The problem is that okay. Usually when you have so you have a lot of different screens, right? Let's not count the gameplay HUD. All right. The question becomes is okay, you seem like there's a start game, right? There's options and there's credits button, right? Usually in a lot of games that you play, you definitely in the pause menu, you're going to see, hey, I'm gonna pause. I have a pause menu, and which then when you pause menu, you say, hey, return to main menu. Resume gameplay. Return to main menu. Options, credits. Right. And in other words, what I'm trying to say is that, and in your game over, it's like, oh well, return to main menu. You return to main menu, options, then credits. Right. They share a lot of these repetition and the design of it, right? And so my thought was, why not just reuse the components in your menu, right? Here you can always then have because I don't necessarily like to kind of build separate menu screens, because it's like, well, you could use the same one. It's just they're at a different point, different state, right? And you could just easily hide certain main menu scenes that you don't scenes. Just hide buttons. Just like in web development, right? You can always hide certain things, so it didn't really matter. So what I'm gonna do, here is to kind of not repeat myself, but add another button. Shift it up. Says, hey, resume game. Okay. Yeah, straight center. Sure, vertical view. Oh. Right. Another button. That would be right here, and this will be main menu. I can do layouts, fill, shrink beginning, nope, shrink, main menu, right? And these buttons are not going to show up. Oops. Main menu. These are not going to show up. See, bam, you got this already, right? You always access the options, the options panel, right? You always access back to the main menu. Right? So now you don't have to design like separate, oh, this, I need to do that, I need actually, heck, we probably don't even need a credits button. Actually, we don't need a credits button. Because you know why? This is designed all by me. Right? I just say this is by me. Right? So really, you just have two options. And I could probably put maybe add a child. And because I don't need credits, but to kind of honor, to show that, hey, who made it. Label. Not rich text label. Design and create. Something like this, right? Some sort of label, right? Disgusting, I know, not the best, but hey, for right now, just try to well, the credits, right? Might not even need it. You know what? Yeah, we might not even need it because this is done by Solo. So I'm not sure if we need really anything else at this point, right? And because here's what I also can do. In the main menu, I can also add this. Here, add a script. So already. So what I want to do here, test, is, hey, I'm going to see if I can, like, be able to dynamically, probably through programmatically, change the the texture. So because right now, right, it's set to this guy right here. Well, I want to use something else. Right? I'm gonna try see if I can programmatically change it, which I think I should be able to. Right? Oh gosh. Already. So title sign. Okay, so we have setters and getters. So main menu. Okay. You know what? Let me get the better notation. Oh, okay. So I guess we can do this. Yeah, as a quick test. So, art. And then, so because we currently had we set the run project to be set to the game, the main menu. You can also use those to run the current scene, so you don't have to run the whole entire thing. String. Okay. So you don't like it because, okay, so I'm not doing this right. New. Oh. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. feels like I don't have any more space in here. Okay, so we gotta do it this way. Oh, no. Load the scene. Haha. See, exactly. And so, yeah, it looks kind of weird. Game over. So we can then replace the texture with something texture, you know, for the game. So, herb, right? Yeah. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna. Oh, come on. Oh, let's clean that. Go back to scripts. So because this does work, I'm going to save this and just put in placeholder called pass. Right. So main menu. So essentially is that when we get to the state where the player, you know, loses the lives, HP, etc., you know, well, they're done, right? They're done. They get the game over. Heck, we probably need a pause menu as well, but you know, at this point, pause texture, but I don't think we currently need it at this time. Yeah, we can forego the credits. This is all done by me. I guess we probably just need to talk about, you know, what. I know. Let's see. We're here. Well, 12:42. So almost 1 o'clock. I mean, I guess what we could really talk about is, right, I think we could talk about is more the artistical aspect of this. Or we can actually start or go the other option is kind of get the basic system up. The sound aspect, I kind of got an idea of what I would like to do for the sound, but the sound's gonna be probably be more on the easier side, just because, like, for example, in Godot, right, you have these audio gains. That's great, but yeah, you could add one more, 2 more, and usually this is what your BGM, and then this is your SFX, right here. I feel like the UI is a little bit, it's a cramp. Oh gosh. Here, give me a sec. Let me move this out. Here we go. Okay. Yeah. So it is a little bit cramped in here, but there is a bottom effect. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't. Please stop fighting me. Oh, goodness. All right. Speak to master. In other words, all of these audio buses will hook up to the um, options. It's really an options panel. Which reminds me, so it's going to be hooked up to all the options. I guess I can quickly cook up. Oh gosh, output. Right. I just work here. I just work here. Start game options. Hit the options panel. Right. And what happens? So sorry, the options panel. I mean, we hit the so we hit an options here, and because we have a humongo jungo layout, don't necessarily shrink begin. Oh gosh, shrink center. Shrink center. So this one, this thing will be says custom minimum custom. I say it's about 200 pixels. Okay, maybe 300. I'm negotiating, and then something like 300, 400. You know what? Even 300. I mean, I could put this underneath here. No. Yeah, you know what? This is not gonna work. No. The reason I said this is because we're gonna mixing two things together, and it's always a good thing to keep the things separate. Options menu. And I think we can add I think we're gonna go to the center. Layout, full rect. Oh, oops. And this is gonna be another scene called user interface, options menu. Okay. You know, again, you know, it could be, hey, we need a margin. Actually, what? Maybe margin in a little bit. And why I said that, you'll kind of see. Add a margin container. Aha. So, because we centered this, right? We're taking those bits. We're taking the say, hey, we want the center, beginning, center, or end. The margin container is going to be like, oh, okay. You want it to be centered? Great. Okay. Now, let me know is What's your size, right? 50. Oh. 50 on the left, 50 on the right, 50 bottom, right? What I'm going to do then is then add a thing called panels. And this guy, you know, we could then says, hey, 300 by 300. And the cool thing is, we could then add, you know what, okay, a grid. Dang it, what is it called? Grid container. A grid container. And then two, you know what? A VBox container. I mean, let's take a look at this. How bad is it? Is it? Oh, okay. I mean, it's huge. Okay, let's take a look. Okay. Maybe 250. Yeah, 250. And then I think we're gonna head here. Some batons. Okay, you know what? Here, what's one to do? Probably just gonna have them set a back button. Let's see, layout, transform, down, let's see, yeah. Shrink and probably not the best kind of design for this, but you know what, let's just get the job done, right? We are going ahead, so a back button, we have a grid layout. Okay, we'll give it 2 columns, so it's gonna have 2 columns. And inside we're gonna kid node, label 1, and oh man, I think I probably should add a margin container. Oh man, this is just really terrible. Having a margin container, and then we give it a theme override. 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay. And then we shove everything into this margin container. So now you kind of see is what's a little bit more complicated of this is that you're going to, like, you want to make things look nice. You can't just randomly place these things, like, you know, because everybody's gonna have different screens. Some people have 4K, some people have 1080, 1920, 1080, 1080. You know, I think this one right now, what you're seeing is like, this is like a 1080. You're gonna have, your things are gonna probably blow up proportion, and if you don't test it, you know, different, different sizes, it's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt you, right? So, yeah. So, but that being said, I think what we can do now is says, hey, master. Then go ahead and add a slider. H slider. Steps point 1. Scrollable layout. Expand. And then very good. Oh, that's not good. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna say shrink center, and this one will be master label. I'm gonna call this master. 2 more things. We're gonna add another label. Another label called BGM. And then I'm gonna add another one, slider, more, slider, and then, oh man, I am running out of energy. Talking, so SFX. Okay. Now, why am I doing this? Right, I'm doing this because BGM. I am doing this is because we, I found that doing a bit more of a grid-like system allows you to have a lot of control and alignment. I just found out that the alignment sometimes is just kind of really terrible, and it doesn't align accordingly. So, if you want to do things, to be like, hey, I like it if this is actually following a certain kind of pattern, right? And there you go. I mean, you essentially got the basics of sound effects. Heck, we could probably even shrink this panel down. Yoink. Done. Dun 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 dun. All right. Let's see, vertical, horizontal. Yeah, there you go. Give some more space, and boom, you're done. Actually, I should rename this. So just to be in. Okay, double check. Oh, okay, good. All right. So options menu is kind of done, and the beauty of this is I'm going to bring in the options menu in here, and it's going to be hidden. Right. Options menu, hidden. Nothing complex, simple, hidden, out of sight, out of mind. Cool. Right. Yeah. And so I think for right now, we're going to stop here. I think the probably most logical next step is integrating this makeshift main menu, right, into something that, yeah, into the game, really, because we designed the individual parts already. We make it super simple, no credits, because I'm the solo dev, artist, designer. I'm just all of it for this project. Yeah, in the options menu, there we go. We got kind of stuff over there here already. No, really, yeah. Just at this point, I think in tomorrow's next stream, we're going to go ahead and integrate this within the game. We're going to also implement the pause menu, as well as the game over menu. So essentially, you when your loose state, your actual loose state with the screens, and I think we can implement I don't want to say a placeholder win state, but we're kind of going to come up with a situation where we're going to really need to think about how to control the levels, so to speak. We're going to have to come and think about the level designs, right? We need more enemies. Enemies need movement. Also, we can, we sure could code that, but next time, probably hold that off till tomorrow, Thursday. Maybe Thursday is a stream. We can then come up with an actual level design. All right. That being said, well, I would say that right now things are going swimmingly. We're actually making some progress. We kind of got, it's not a working main menu, but we'll hook it up, right? We'll hook all the stuff up tomorrow. But we got a bunch of things done. Change one of our enemies' UI. Their interactions with each other, collisions. We got that down. We did a bit of refactoring today. And then we did, I think, a whole huge portion of the main menu. And that's because I've worked on the main menu before. Not a complete novice, but the rest of the parts, as you probably can see, is that I do struggle a bit, right? So hence, practice makes perfect. So, I think I'm gonna stop here. Sorry for the night. Gonna head off to bed. But if I know, for some of you guys are out there going to be watching this on a replay. If you really like this, want to continue watching the stream. I'm going to be streaming. Pretty much Monday to Friday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Monday to Friday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm so bad. Oops, sorry. I am very bad. Other than that, so Monday to Thursday is going to be, development, really, just talking about, and just logging my journey for making this game. Fridays, I think we're going to make it into a chill day where we're going to be playing a game, talk about some of its mechanics. I mean, it's not going to be a class per se. It's not really a class per se, but I like to talk about maybe academic things. But if you guys anything you guys want to talk about, just let me know. Or you can join my Discord. I have posted the link under the description for this stream, so please go there. You're invited. You're invited to join. I'm really happy to build a community so that I can better serve you guys, and make this a community about having really fun. Some questions, and maybe even do something a little bit more different. So as long as we could form a community around this, and I would love to see this stream grow. Please like this stream. Please do be a subscriber. Hit the like button, helps the algo. And also, I'm actually super curious about how the algorithm works. Maybe one day I can ask, a dev as a dev with a QA mindset, like, so how much is things weigh from the algorithm. But I digress. Hit the like button, give it a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell icon so you get the just what updates from me for uploads or doing streaming. You'll know about it. Which reminds me, I have seen other people's stream. They schedule theirs as a premiere. Maybe I should do that too as well. I'm always here. I just started. This is going to be an awesome journey, fun journey, maybe heart-wrenching. I know the art part is going to be very heart-wrenching for me. So, anyways, this is Late Night. You're watching the Late Night Game Dev channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.